There is a question millions of people ask themselves every day, a question they rarely say out loud, a question that quietly follows them to work, follows them home, and keeps them awake at night. The question is simple. Why am I working so hard but not getting rich? You wake up early. You work long hours. You do everything society told you to do. Get an education. Find a job. Work hard. Be responsible. Yet somehow, financial freedom still feels far away. Meanwhile, you see people becoming wealthy, starting businesses, buying homes, building investments, and you begin to wonder, what am I doing wrong? The truth is, hard work is important. But hard work alone has never been enough. And once you understand why, your entire view of money changes. Hashtag the biggest lie about money. Most people grow up believing a simple equation. Hard work kicks wealth. It sounds logical. The harder you work, the more money you should make. The more money you make, the richer you become. But if this were true, the hardest working people in society would be the richest. Construction workers, factory workers, farmers, delivery drivers, people working 2 jobs. Yet many of these people struggle financially, not because they are lazy, not because they lack discipline, but because hard work and wealth are not the same thing. The world does not reward effort. The world rewards value. And those are very different things. Hashtag you're trading time for money. Most people earn money in one way. They sell their time. Every hour worked creates income. This system works. But it has a hidden problem. Time is limited. There are only 24 hours in a day. No matter how hardworking you are, eventually you reach a ceiling. You cannot work 100 hours every day. You cannot endlessly increase your income through effort alone. This is why many people work harder every year, but never experience financial freedom. Their income remains connected to their time. And because time is limited, growth is limited too. The wealthy understand something different. Instead of only selling time, they build systems, assets, businesses, investments, things that continue generating value even when they are not actively working. That changes everything. Hashtag the salary trap. A good salary feels like success, and in many ways it is. But it can also become a trap, because when income increases, spending often increases too. A better job leads to a better car, a bigger apartment, a more expensive lifestyle. At first, it feels like progress. But something strange happens. Despite earning more money, financial stress remains. The paycheck grows, the expenses grow. Nothing changes. Many people spend decades climbing the income ladder only to discover they are still trapped, not because they earn too little, but because every raise creates a new level of spending. The wealthy often do the opposite. When income rises, they increase assets before increasing lifestyle. Most people upgrade consumption. Rich people upgrade ownership. Hashtag nobody taught you how wealth actually works. School teaches people how to become employees, how to pass exams, how to follow instructions. But very few people are taught how wealth is built. Nobody explains assets, cash flow, investing, compound growth, financial psychology. As a result, many people spend years working incredibly hard without understanding the rules of the game. Imagine playing a sport without knowing the rules. You may run harder than everyone else, but you'll still lose. That is what happens financially to millions of people. Effort without financial knowledge creates frustration, because working hard and building wealth are 2 completely different skills. Hashtag the lifestyle inflation problem. Imagine receiving a raise tomorrow. What would you do? Most people already know the answer. Upgrade something. A car, a phone, a house, a vacation. This habit is called lifestyle inflation, and it quietly destroys wealth. The more money people make, the more money they spend. The result? A person earning $3,000 per month feels broke. A person earning $10,000 per month feels broke. A person earning $20,000 per month feels broke. Because the problem was never income. The problem was spending. Rich people often appear boring during the wealth-building phase. They delay gratification. They keep expenses lower than their income. And they invest the difference. Over time, that gap becomes wealth. Hashtag, you're working for money instead of making money work for you. This may be the most important lesson in personal finance. Most people spend their lives working for money. Rich people spend their lives making money work for them. Every dollar has two choices. It can be spent, or it can become an employee. When invested wisely, money starts producing more money. Then that money produces even more money. This process is called compounding, and it is one of the most powerful forces in wealth creation. The problem is that most people never reach this stage. They spend everything they earn. As a result, their money never gets the chance to work for them. Why rich people seem to get richer. This is where many people become frustrated. They look at wealthy individuals and think, it must be easier for them. In some cases, it is. But there is another reason. Once you own assets, the game changes. A person working for money must earn every dollar. A person owning assets earns money from businesses, investments, real estate, ownership. This means wealth begins growing even while they sleep. The rich are not always working harder. They simply own more things that work on their behalf. Hashtag, the real path to wealth. If working harder is not enough, what should you do? First, continue working hard. Hard work still matters. But combine it with these principles. Increase your value. Learn skills. Spend less than you earn. Avoid unnecessary debt. Build assets. Invest consistently. Think long-term. Because wealth is not built in 1 year. It is built through thousands of decisions repeated over decades. Small actions, repeated consistently. That is how financial freedom is created. If you have ever asked yourself, why am I working hard but not getting rich? The answer is not that you are lazy. The answer is not that you are incapable. The answer is that hard work alone was never the complete formula. The people who become wealthy understand something most people never learn. Income creates opportunity, but assets create wealth. And the moment you stop focusing only on earning money and start focusing on owning things that produce money, your financial future begins to change. Because the goal is not to work harder forever. The goal is to build a life where your money works as hard as you do.